Hey buddy, what do you think of the yogurt?
It's really good.
Hey, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making homemade coconut milk yogurt, and this is also vegan friendly depending on which stabilizer you use. So this is actually my second time making homemade yogurt. I made it for you guys yesterday and I realized my mic didn't work for the whole entire video, so there's no audio. But the good news is now I have tried the yogurt, I know it's delicious, and now I'm even more excited to show you, and I'm pretty much an expert now. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put boiling water into our Instant Pot, and I am also gonna put all the other tools that I'm going to be using in the Instant Pot. This is so that it kills off all the bad bacteria. Since we are making yogurt, we only want the good bacteria that is going to come from our yogurt starter or our yogurt, whichever one you use. So first I will just pour this hot water in. While I go over a few things with you guys, this will sanitize that for me. So first off, there are quite a few things that you need to make yogurt. So a thermometer is helpful. You definitely need cheesecloth if you don't want chunky yogurt. And then as far as ingredients go, you need a stabilizer. You can use either agar-agar or beef gelatin. You want to use agar-agar if you want it to be vegan. I'm going to use gelatin because I don't eat vegan. Second, you're going to want full-fat canned coconut milk. That's very important. It has to be full fat. And then last, you need either a yogurt starter or you need yogurt. If you're going to use yogurt, which I am, then you just want a plain, no sugar, no anything else added to the yogurt. So since this is only my second time making this, I did get a recipe. I'm using the recipe from A Mindful Mom. So if you find that your yogurt has a pink hue at the very end, that means something went wrong and you shouldn't eat it. It's not safe to eat at that point. So I'm gonna get right into the yogurt making process now, but if you guys want to wait till the end, I will have a cost analysis and different ways to flavor it so you guys can see why it's better to make it this way. It's definitely cheaper. We're gonna get started, so I'm just gonna take this stuff out of here and I will dump the water. Just go to the yogurt function and then you should be able to go over in the settings to boil. So we're gonna push boil and then start. Now is when you're gonna add your full fat coconut milk. I'm gonna do a full can here for this recipe. This was my last can of coconut milk, so I got lucky that I still had this in my house, and it's actually a different brand. This is Thrive Market, and yesterday I used Thai Kitchen. So I really like the flavor of the Thai Kitchen coconut milk, so I'm interested to see if the Thrive Market one turns out good too. Okay, and then at this point, we're also going to add 2 teaspoons of either beef gelatin or agar-agar. So I'm going to add that now. This is when you need the thermometer. So we just want to get this to 110 to 115 degrees. And that is just enough to make the gelatin dissolve into the coconut milk. So for this, you don't have to get it all the way to boiling. Like I said, just 110 to 115 degrees so that the gelatin dissolves in. And then the reason we only want it to 110, 115 is because we don't want it to kill off the active cultures in the yogurt or the yogurt starter. So like yesterday, I had to go get my son while he was napping, and I did accidentally let this boil, and that's a-okay. You just have to let it come down to 110 115 degrees before you add the yogurt so it doesn't kill off all your good bacteria. And if you're an impatient cook like me, you don't want to let it go to boiling because it takes forever to cool down. I had it in the fridge, in the freezer, trying to get it to cool down, and it did kind of take forever, but it did eventually cool down. And of course, you don't want it to cool down too much either. All right, so we have hit 115 degrees, so I'm gonna turn this off now and put up my hair because the baby loves my hair. Okay, so now you need your cheesecloth in a strainer and then a bowl underneath to catch everything, of course. And I'm just going to dump this into here. And then we are gonna put water in this, so I'm just gonna rinse this out real quick. Okay, so this next part is optional. You can either put your yogurt back into the inner bowl, or you can put it into a mason jar like I'm going to do, and that is because it needs to cool in the fridge for 8 hours, and I don't want my whole entire Instant Pot in my fridge for 8 hours. So I am going to Rinse out the Instant Pot. And all right, I'm just gonna put 1 cup of warm water in my Instant Pot and spill it everywhere. And then you want the trivet that came with your Instant Pot, and we're gonna put it in here. And then I'm just going to pour the coconut milk mixture back into the mason jar, or into the mason jar. And it fits perfectly. I think this is a pint-sized mason jar. And then I have 1 tablespoon of yogurt. And like I said, you want to make sure this is cooled off all the way, 110 to 115 degrees, so you don't kill off the yogurt cultures, or so you don't kill off the bacteria. So before I poured in the yogurt culture, I was going to make sure that it got down to 115 degrees first, and I did not remember that. So I'm hoping I didn't kill off all my bacteria. It got up to 120. So I think I already added the yogurt in case that killed it off. I think I'm gonna just add another tablespoon of yogurt and we'll see how it goes. While I'm waiting for that to cool down, let's talk time in the Instant Pot. So the next step is where you incubate it, and you can do anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. In some blogs I read even up to 36 hours. And people say the longer you go, the creamier, the thicker, and the tangier it gets. So I'm not gonna lie, I was too excited to wait, and I knew I needed to refilm this, so I didn't wait the full 24 hours. I think it was about 19 hours when I checked it, and I thought it was delicious. So I think I'll wait the full 24 hours this time and maybe do 36 hours another time. But for my purposes, 19 hours was great. I thought it was delicious. And then after it incubates, you put it in the fridge for, they say, 8 hours. I did probably 3 hours, and it was cold and it was delicious. Let's also talk cost comparison while we are at it. So I did find some interesting things actually. I said it would be cheaper, way cheaper to make it this way, and it depends on where you buy your coconut milk and your coconut yogurt, of course. So if you buy everything at Walmart, you can get a big container of So Delicious coconut milk yogurt. This is unflavored, unsweetened, and it is 24 ounces, and I paid $5.30 for this. So Delicious also has the little cups that do have the added sugar and added flavor as well, and those are $1.58. So for the yogurt that I made, I am factoring in the cost of the coconut milk and the cost of the gelatin, because in the future I won't have to buy the yogurt starter or the yogurt. I will be able to freeze the extra yogurt, and then I can just pull it out and use that, or just use the remaining 1 tablespoon of yogurt from what I already had made. So I'm not factoring in that cost. So once you get over the starting cost, which is very minimal, $5 for 1 container of yogurt, then it's pretty minimal. So I found if you buy everything at Walmart, the little cup of yogurt is 29 cents an ounce, where the big container is 22 cents an ounce. If you get your coconut milk at Walmart, then it came out to 25 cents, and that's including the cost of the coconut milk and the gelatin. Okay, so that is actually more expensive if you make your own versus the big container. It's 22 for the big, 25 making your own, and 29 for the little container. But I usually don't buy my coconut milk at Walmart because it is expensive. $2.98 for 1 can of coconut milk is kind of spendy in my opinion. So I usually get mine at Costco. So I looked it up on Costco real quick, and you can buy coconut milk, a 6-pack for $15. Your cost then is $2.49 per can. So if you look at it that way, then it's 17 cents per ounce when you make it this way. So that is cheaper than even the big one at 22 cents. It's 5 cents cheaper an ounce. And if you're eating a lot of ounces, then you're saving money. And I will say my yogurt was so much more delicious than the store-bought stuff. I liked it a lot better, and you can customize it. I found it way easier to customize to taste delicious. So I think it's a pretty easy process overall, and something once you get in the habit of it and you learn how to do it, it's cheaper, it tastes better, probably better for you, and I think my yogurt is done. Okay, so let's see if it's cooled off now. Step away for 5 seconds, and that is when your stuff will boil. I've learned my lesson twice now. Okay, it's taking forever to cool off. So yeah, I'm gonna add another tablespoon because I don't want to ruin this, and I hope I didn't already ruin it. Okay, while I'm waiting, I might as well continue talking. So I want to talk about how I flavored it. I thought it was actually pretty good unflavored, which I don't find the same with the store-bought. So it was pretty good unflavored. What I did do was 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and then I sprinkled some cinnamon on top, and I thought that was so delicious, and my toddler thought it was amazing as well. But other ways you could do it, if you wanted your yogurt to be colored, but you want it to be more natural, you could use, we have like freeze-dried strawberries or raspberries, and you know how you get like the powder at the bottom from the freeze-dried, or you can just mash up the freeze-dried strawberries. That powder you can put into your yogurt, and that would make it a nice pink color. You could use whatever color fruit you wanted for your purposes of coloring, and then obviously you could add in fresh fruit for taste. And then the chocolate lover in me thinks that this is gonna be perfect with chocolate, so I would start with probably about a tablespoon of cocoa and then do like some shaved chocolate on top. I think that would be mwah. A couple other things, I wanna show you guys these super cubes. There are 2 tablespoons. And this is what I'm gonna freeze my yogurt in so that I have the yogurt when I need it in case we eat all the yogurt and we don't have a yogurt starter. This is kind of my fail-safe, and it can be 1 to 2 tablespoons, so it doesn't have to be perfect. If you are gonna freeze it like this, then I recommend thawing it completely before you use it as a starter. And using it probably within a month. And then as far as your yogurt goes, you can store it in the fridge for probably about 5 to 7 days, or you can store it in the freezer up to 3 months. But if you are gonna store it in the freezer, you're not gonna wanna expect the consistency to be exactly the same. You probably wanna use it in like smoothies or whisk it up really good. I am set here for the next 10 times I want to make yogurt. So this has finally cooled down here. So I'm just going to scrape the rest of this yogurt into here. I think it's about a tablespoon. And we will see how bad I screwed this up. And then I'll just stir it in here. And then we're just gonna put this in the Instant Pot just like this. And then don't move this around because mine tipped over in there, and luckily it didn't spill everywhere, but. Okay, so technically, when you're using the yogurt function, it should not come to pressure, so it doesn't matter if you're venting or sealing, but just to be safe, I'm just gonna put it on venting because you definitely don't want it to seal. And then push the yogurt button and then scroll over to your time, and you can scroll to however many hours. I'm gonna do it for 24 hours this time, and then push start. So I told you guys that I got this recipe from a mindful mom. Her blog says to put it on normal, make sure it's not on low, but everybody else's blog did not say anything about low or normal. And my Instant Pot's regular setting is low, and the other setting is a certain temperature degree. And I couldn't figure out what temperature to put it on, so I just left it on low, hoping that it would turn out okay, and it turned out perfect. It was tangy, so I know that it worked. It didn't just taste like coconut milk, and it wasn't pink, so I know that it wasn't bad. And I feel good after eating it, so it wasn't bad. And like I said, nobody else's blog said anything else about getting this up to a different temperature than what the automatic is. I figure Instant Pot probably kind of knows what they're doing, so I just left it on low and prayed for the best, and it turned out good. So now, like I said, we leave this in here for 24 hours. So tomorrow at 11:30 we will pull this out and put it in the fridge, and it's supposed to set up in the fridge for 8 hours. Like I said, I had it after 3 hours and it was just fine, but 8 hours probably is fine too. Look at that, making yogurt made the baby go to sleep. Okay guys, if you try this, let me know. I'm super excited about this. I've never made my own homemade yogurt. Being able to make something like this is just like another step on my homesteading journey, so I'm super excited to share this with you guys. And if you've ever made yogurt and you're more of an expert than me, let me know what you tried differently and what you like to mix into your yogurt. I hope you guys have a great day. I'd love for you to like and subscribe if you like this sort of content, and I will see you guys next time.
me.